Vanilla Minecraft. It may not be the most visually appealing thing in the world, but it does run quite well. Now what I'm going to be doing in today's video is actually installing some mods to make it look better. Now this is actually what I think stock Minecraft or vanilla should look like. So let's get into the video. Okay, so what I've actually used today to make Minecraft look like this is actually the faithful 32x32 resource pack. I've showcased it in many other videos. I really do like this resource pack. It's FPS boosting and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, if you don't have it installed, I'd recommend downloading it. The second thing I've got is the Waving Plants version 3.5 shader pack. Now, I'm in 1.12.2 due to this shader only being up to this version and not any higher, sadly. Now, this also means that I am missing out on things like the aquatic update, but that's okay because the next mod actually gives a sort of effect of that update. Now, the third thing I've installed, which is basically the biggest part of this, is the better Foliage Mod. Now, this I'm pretty sure is also maxing out at 1.12.2 due to newer versions kind of already implementing some of this and it not being able to use it. But most people are not running on the latest version. I'm still on this version due to server reasons because bigger servers, they can't really run on 1.14.4 right now properly. Just little issues here and there for server sizes and that kind of stuff, but that's not what I'm trying to talk about. What I'm trying to talk about is improving Vanilla's look. Okay, so what we were able to actually see before in the comparison is the difference with the shader and the better Foliage Mod. Now you can see that the shader actually doesn't do a huge lot of shading as its name says. It's not meant to be a super PC hungry shader pack. It's not meant to do that on purpose for low-end PCs, but for me, I really think it is a nice touch to make vanilla what it should be like. Now you can immediately see with this better Foliage Mod, just looking around, there is actual shorter grass with the normal tall grass, and when you cut it, there is shorter grass here too. Now I did actually do a full review of the better Foliage Mod. It'll be a link in the description and card annotation up. Really good video. I really suggest you go check that out. And yeah, it really showcases all the different effects, different locations, and different ways it makes the game more immersive. Now if we go over to the tree, you can see that it is way more different than stock Minecraft. It actually has bits kind of poking out. It's got leaves that move out of the stock blocks. Yeah, it also has falling particle effects that are not from the shader itself, but from this mod. And we can also see that the log is not completely square. The hitbox around it is square, but yeah, it's not itself. It's kind of more round. Let's say I want to chop a tree. Not this one exactly, because it's near a village. We go to this one over here, and we can see, look at that, it's actually sort of round, and you've got the leaves kind of phasing through it. Anyway, yeah, so it's a really nice addition to stock Minecraft's look of especially foliage and trees. It is also not too PC demanding, like it does a little bit of performance degradation, but one thing with this is that if you use this and this shader, it's still not as demanding as a single shader like Chocopic 13 Ultra. Now a combination like a GTX 750 Ti, a quad core like an i5 2400, 4 gigs of RAM, should be able to run what I'm running at over 60 FPS. Obviously Optifine will be installed, you'll be able to change some settings to suit your kind of needs and frame rate, so yeah, probably recommend those specs on the minimum. Now, because we've got this Waving Plants shader pack on, it does move all these leaves, and I really do like the look of it. I think it's a nice subtle change, like I'm literally phasing through the protruding leaves, which I think look really nice. It gives the game a addition that is not too crazy. Like if this was stock Minecraft, I'd be completely happy with it, but since it's a mod, I obviously have to download it. But I personally leave it on all the time because I think it really does make the game better. Now we can see over here that the different designs of the logs are due to the placement of them. You can actually change this in the settings as well. So this one is completely square because it's got one block here, and another here. But because this one has a block only there and there, it's not like a square on one side due to another wood block over here. Yeah, as I said, you can change it into settings. It's one thing that I would highly recommend changing as well, because glitches like this happen. The blocks actually have a little bug where other blocks don't actually go into the other areas, but yeah, that's Minecraft. It doesn't have the best physics. Now you can see the plants are waving. Pretty much everything that can wave will in this video because of the waving plants v3.5. It's not because of the better foliage mod, sadly, but if you get all these mods I'm using, it would make one hell of a better experience that I feel like should be vanilla. Now we can see over here that there are way more trees. It doesn't look like a flat plain surface as stock Minecraft as most people would play it. It's probably something I would definitely use with a higher end shader. Now I've actually personally used this with SUS version 11 and SUS Renewed. I haven't used the ray tracing shaders since my GPU is only a GTX 1060. I'll be upgrading soon, but yeah, it's pretty nice currently. If you can run any higher shaders, I'd recommend it, but you gotta really have a beefy PC for that. Oh, here we go. So yeah, you can see, since it's only 1.12.2, no aquatic update, but underwater there is kind of algae and coral and reeds around. That kind of makes it look more like the newer versions of Minecraft. Now also the water does have a very, very minimal wave to it, as you can see. Yeah, it'll look a bit crisper for you guys if you download it yourself, obviously, because yeah, the compression, YouTube compression sucks. Now what I think I'll actually do is hop over to a different map to showcase different conditions where this should be also utilized. Okay, so I'm on a new map and we can see that the foliage, in terms of like the ponds and stuff, you can see on the lily pads, you can see other things like little mushrooms on them. And you can also see the reeds as well that are under the actual lily pads and in the ground. Now we can see also all leaves in this game have this better foliage, so not a certain type of leaves. So it's not like only acacia has the better foliage mod. All do. It does a little bit of a performance impact when you're around a lot of it, but you know, an okay PC should be able to run it with ease. We can follow more of the reeds around. You can see that just is kind of near the shoreline, kind of more realistic to real life because it's trying to portray that. Now what we can do here is check out these trees, and you'll be able to see these are also at a rounder portion, but because they are 4, not 1, it is a larger kind of circle. So yeah, it protrudes out there, doesn't here, out here, and continuing around. And also, like, one thing I haven't really talked about in this is the density, because normal Minecraft, you look at this and it's basically just blocks, but this fills out little gaps. You can see it's all moving around just like real life. And while we're talking about this, you can see all the leaves falling from different trees. So yeah, they also sometimes fade out before hitting the ground, maybe due to the length of them, but some, they sit on the ground for a little bit. Now you can also change this in the settings of the Better Foliage mod. There are settings you can also do in the shader pack. Not too many of this shader specifically, but yeah. Now I actually haven't shown this in my mod showcase of the Better Foliage, is actually the cacti. Look at this, they have like unnatural growth on the outside, like little protruding parts. It looks more like a real cactus, like honestly, such a cool little effect. And the best thing is they aren't identical, like some have this part protruding out, some have in the middle part, and they're all just kind of different. Like this one right here has one here, and one there as well. Yeah, so if you're like walking through a desert, this makes it way more appealing. Wow, look at this. This is, I think, the term called a canopy. I've learnt this in geography very recently, so if I got that wrong, I'm very sorry, geography teacher, I have definitely failed you, but yeah, look at this. And I really just do appreciate that if you zoom in, you can see all the leaves moving, and thankfully for me, I'm not getting a huge performance impact. Pretty nice, I really do like it. If you are able to download and install these guys yourselves, go do that, I highly recommend it. A large amount of people will be able to use most of what I've showcased in this video. If you can't use, let's say, the shader, then the Better Foliage mod by itself will look great. Faithful 32x32 is always a must, I have to say, because it is FPS boosting, as I've said. So it actually refines the textures in the game as well. So if you really like a smoother looking game, then yeah, download it. Anyway guys, I think I'm going to end it here. I'm about done with this video. I've showcased as much as I want to showcase what I think vanilla Minecraft should look like, because it is a huge improvement over stock. Look at this. Okay, so there is a really nice waterfall over here, and you can see like the vines around here. Wait a sec. This is actually built from the map makers that I downloaded this from. Yeah, I'll leave a link in the description of this map specifically, because it also does have some awesome structures when you spawn in especially. I've flown out a little far for this, so yeah, anyway, this is cool. So if you want to see more videos from me, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to end it here. This has been an absolutely awesome video showcasing the better Foliage Mod, the faithful 32x32 resource pack, and the Waving Plants version 3.5 shader. So, I'll see you guys later, and peace.